You know, I'd probably say that Donald Trump, his Department of Justice, and his FBI would have a crisis on their hands if they didn't start producing for the Magas, but let's be real here. This is a cult. These people are in a cult. And it doesn't matter what Donald Trump, his FBI, or his DOJ does, they're always going to defend them and run back to them. Dan Bongino, who is second in command at the FBI, has been tweeting updates to the Magas. And basically, all of his updates say things like, trust us, trust the process, be patient, we're doing things. Even if you don't see things out in the open, understand, we're doing things behind closed doors that I can't tell you in this tweet, and you're going to be very happy with all of the results. Now, there's a lot of infighting going on between the Magas because some Magas seem to have seen the light. So they're in the comments saying things like, you guys haven't produced shit. You haven't done anything. We haven't seen anything that you guys said you were going to produce on day one. But then you have the other Magas who are so deep in the cult, they're backing them up. And they're like, hey, you know, guys, they've only been in office for 80 days. Give them time. It takes time to get all this evidence and all this stuff. Meanwhile, these people told them that on day one, they would see the Jeffrey files and they would see arrests. None of those things have happened. But here's the big problem. Magas have been lied to so much, they actually believe that they're going to see arrests and indictments of Joe Biden for stealing the election in 2020. That never happened. They can't prove something that never happened, so they'll never be able to produce an arrest of Joe Biden because they lied so much about that. So now they're going to have a hard time basically living up to these lies that they told. They think that there's going to be some huge conspiracy between Ray Epps and the whole J6 thing. They think Ray Epps perpetuated the January 6th insurrection and there's going to be arrest of Ray Epps or investigations of him. That was another lie told to you guys, and that is why you now want to see Ray Epps investigated and arrested. Ray Epps was a dumb MAGA who went to the Capitol on J6 just like all the other dumb MAGAs because he thought that the election was stolen, and it wasn't. So you're never going to see an investigation of him. They also think they're going to see like Antifa get arrested because it was them at the Capitol and not a bunch of MAGAs. That's never going to happen. That was another lie. They think they're going to see arrest of BLM because they were also at the Capitol perpetuating or faking like they were Trump supporters. That was another lie you were told, and that is never going to happen. They also think there's going to be some dismantling of and exposure of the deep state and the swamp. Donald Trump, Dan Bongino, and Kash Patel are the deep state and the swamp. They're not going to investigate themselves. You're not going to see any of these things. They've been lied to so much, there is no way they could ever be satiated or satisfied because there is no way that Donald Trump, his DOJ, and his FBI can ever stand up to these lies. They will never be able to produce evidence that does not exist because they have lied for the last 4 years. All of these things that they've told you have been lies. All of the lies that they've told you, they cannot prove because they are lies. So again, there are some MAGAs out there who have seen the light, but we would all be ignorant to think that enough MAGAs are going to see the light and start calling them out. They won't. They will just let the time run out. That is how, just like they haven't asked for the Jeffrey files anymore because they know that Donald Trump is probably on them, they won't ask for these things at a certain point because they just don't care. They really like the bigotry and the hate, and they will be happy with that. If all they get from the Donald Trump presidency is that he is just like them. He hates the same people they hate. He's racist against the same people that they're racist against. That's enough for them. They don't care that he's a predator. They don't care that he's a horrible person. They like the fact that he hates and is racist, and that's all. And that's good enough for them. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.